Okay.
It's like Toby has hemorrhoids or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god.
Okay. All right. Here we go. What is up, everybody, and welcome to episode 15 of the Geek Cast. I am Bobby, the Geek Guru, and I am joined once again by my friend, my good buddy from the UK, Toby. What is up, Toby? How are you today?
Bonjour.
You had to do that, didn't you? And then the voice, the laughter you hear, that is none other than our friend Miguel. How are you today, Miguel?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
Very good, thank you. Toby, you always gotta pull stuff from like before we start the show. Always.
Bonjour, buenos dias, bonjour.
So we're gonna start this episode like we do every episode with our Geek Outs. Miguel, since you are the guest, we're gonna let you go first. What are you geeking out about this week?
I'm not really geeking out about anything like this week per se. I'm just more like excited to hear what the games are coming out this Christmas, like the whole holiday thing. Since you know, even though it's going to be November, this is when you get to hear all the new games that are coming out for this Christmas and 2016.
That's true.
Yeah,
Very true. Yeah, it'd be good to hear.
Not much coming out for Nintendo.
I don't know though, because they said during the investors meeting that they have more coming. They said that they have stuff that hasn't been announced yet.
They're cutting it a bit fine, isn't they?
Listen, with Iwata dying, man, they're just in a little bit of a train wreck right now. They're trying to pull everything back together. They haven't been doing things the way they've been doing,
Man,
you know?
It would be so killer if they just had a direct, like, next week, and then they said December, whatever, like December 15th, Twilight Princess HD is coming. That would make my Christmas.
I really think, honestly, like with the Twilight Princess rumors and all that, like I really feel they're going to do something like that. Like they're going to come out and they're going to be like, we're back, boom, big bad way, here it is.
Because that would be like...
And I think
that would be... Sorry, boy. That would be their big Christmas game then.
Yes.
Because with Star Fox and Zelda being pushed till next year, then if they had Twilight Princess in its place, I'd be happy.
Yeah, and I think that they're going to... I think we're looking at, like, that'll be the big bang that ends the Nintendo Direct for them. I really am excited. I was happy to hear that come out of the investors meeting that they, you know, they got one more Direct that they have a Direct they're going to do for 2015, and that's just awesome, you know, because it was up in the air and people weren't sure where they were going with it. So that's pretty awesome. Toby, what are you geeking out about?
I'm geeking out about Resident Evil. Or should I say Resident Evil? Because basically, like over the past month or two, game trailers have been streaming on, like, they do this thing called Full Playthrough Friday, and they've been playing all of the mainline Resident Evil games. And so I started watching them. Like, I watched Resident Evil 4 the other week, and that's a long game, and he played it on professional mode, and it took him like 17, 18 hours in total, but they split it into two because it's so long. But I don't know, I'm just getting like so into Resident Evil games lately. So there's the Halloween sale on the PlayStation Store at the moment, so I bought Resident Evil HD Remake and Resident Evil Revelations 2, so I'm looking forward to trying them out later today.
It's funny you said that because I actually bought mine on the Xbox One, so I want to go back to the Resident Evil games. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, they are awesome games.
Yeah.
Bobby's too scared to play them though.
Yeah, I don't play scary games. I downloaded Fatal Frame, and I'm scared to death to start it. Like, I'm such a chicken.
I'm gonna get that game soon. Maybe we could play one day.
It's free, man.
It is free?
It's free
I
to
didn't
start.
know that.
It's free to start.
Free to start.
So
okay.
you buy it, and I think the first 2 levels or first 2 episodes are free. And then if you like it, I think it's like $59 or $49.
Scary ghost children. That's what I don't like about those games.
So myself, I'm personally geeking out about a rumor that I just read about this morning in the Geek Guru Facebook group that I don't know how true it is, so take it with a grain of salt, but the new Batman standalone film that is coming out, there is a rumor, well, it's been talked about already that Ben Affleck will write and possibly direct.
Affleck.
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 Ben Affleck.
Oh my god, Bobby.
Ben Affleck. What's wrong with you?
Just the way you said it.
Whatever. It don't matter.
Affleck.
So listen. Anyway, so there's a rumor that Ben will be writing and possibly directing the film, but the rumor is that they're pulling and they're going to adapt from A Death in the Family storyline and some of the Under the Hood, which is the Red Hood storyline, which to me is really exciting. Like, I loved those story arcs. Like, I thought they were amazing. Like, growing up as a kid, like, I was a kid reading comics when Jason Todd died, and you know, I've talked about it numerous times where there was a 900 number that you called in. You know, at the end of the issue, the Joker beats the crap out of Jason Todd with a crowbar, leaves him for dead, and then at the end of the book, there's a 900 number, and if you called one number, it was voting for him to live, the other number was voting for him to die, and then it was like a 3-day process, and then when it was done, it was shut off, and that was it, and the fans voted. When you talk to, you know, when you hear interviews with Denny O'Neil, who was the editor-in-chief of DC at the time, he talks about how in the beginning, early goings, it was all for him to live. And then at the last minute, like, this groundswell of voting for him to die just came in. And the last minute, like the last few hours, it took over. And the fans voted for Jason Todd to be killed. So, and then him coming back as Red Hood, which was, Red Hood's a great character. I really like it. It's a playoff of the Joker because that's how the Joker was originally brought into DC. So it's a lot of cool stuff. And there is rumors that people are trying to point at that Jared Leto's Joker isn't the Joker, that it is Jason Todd. So, and I don't know whether that's true or not, and but it's all speculation at this point. But people are so upset with the way Jared Leto looks as the Joker that they're trying to find all these things to say, like, well, that's not really the Joker. You know, that's a different version. I like him regardless. I think he's going to do a great job with the role and all that, but it's just kind of neat to see how this is all starting to come together. And there's definitely something to say with with Robin dying and Jason Todd dying, because if you watch the trailers of Batman vs. Superman, you see Bruce Wayne looking at a glass case that has the Robin suit in it, and that's kind of cool. Like, that's a play on a lot of stuff that was always done over history. So I'm excited. As more information starting to come out about Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, and then the first Justice League movie, and then all this Batman standalone. Like, I am hyped up. Like, this is really getting me ready to go for the movies.
That's cool, man. I like the way he looks in the new Suicide thing.
I do too. I think he looks good. I know Mark from the Warp Whistle's all upset because he thinks he's looks like a juggalo, like Insane Clown Posse and stuff. And I'm like, whatever, man. My feeling is like, give it a chance. Let's see what happens. Like, you're looking at still pictures. Once you see it in action, you see it all coming together. It could be a different story. It could be something totally different. So I'm excited for it. I think
to me, he looks much more twisted in that.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's what I said to Mark the last time we spoke about it. I said, look, they're trying to give DC movies are trying to give that feeling of reality. Like, if this took place today, this is what you would see. That, like, you look at that image of the Joker, and granted, he's not the clown that, is in the comics for years past, but that image, you look at that and you go, this guy's nuts. Like, you look at that and you just look at him, you go, if you saw him on the street, you would back away because you would think, like, there's something wrong with this guy. There's something off with him, So I like it personally. I'm excited for it. So, all right, we're going to move into what we're playing now. And, Toby, what are you playing this week?
2 games. Mm-hmm. I am playing Triforce Heroes on 3DS.
Very good game.
I'm playing single player because I'm yet to try my luck online because I've heard that it can be a little bit laggy, and also I'm really worried about playing with idiots.
Okay.
Because
it's true.
Let me say something to you, seriously. You're hearing it. Go try it.
Yeah, I will try it.
Just
but
pick it up and try it. Because you know what? I jumped in. I've been playing that too myself, not to cut you off, but I did the first couple times I played. I went on, I played with people, and sometimes you get good groups, sometimes you get duds. But
I just
don't let that experience ruin it for you. Go try it.
I don't want to be the sort of person that jumps into a game with people and then because they're so utterly rubbish that I drop out and then just leave them. Like, because then that makes me look bad and it ruins their game.
They don't know who you are.
No, but I don't know.
I just wish you could play with people outside the country.
Yes.
That's
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your? I'll touch more about my experience.
Yeah. I am enjoying this.
Are you liking the single player?
Yeah.
How far are you?
I've played. I'm only on like the grassy area still, so I've played through about half of all that.
Okay.
But so far, like I've only played it a few times, but so far I'm quite enjoying it. It's less of like a puzzle game and more of a dexterity game because you've got to like be quick at using the touch screen to change to a different color link.
Yeah.
So there was a puzzle where you had different heights of those little blue orbs that you got to shoot with your arrow, and 3 of them are on the second height, and 2 of them are on the first height. So you've got to have two links totemed, and then you've got to take control of them, shoot those, and then you've got a limited amount of time to switch to the other link, move him, and shoot the lower ones. Whereas like if you're doing it as a team of 3 people, that'd be really quick. Everyone could just do it at the same time, but you just got to be quick and dexterous at swapping the characters over.
Yeah.
And they introduce like bombs and arrows, so then you've got to start keeping track of which color link has got the specific item. So for instance, like the bombs are blue, so I kept the blue link with the bombs, so it's just easier for me to remember who has the bombs, but it's still tricky like remembering like quickly like who's got what item. So I can see that it's probably going to get harder, like a lot harder, the trickier the puzzles get.
Good. What was the other game you're playing?
Playing Assassin's Creed Syndicate on PlayStation 4.
How you liking that?
I'm really liking it, yeah. The last Assassin's Creed game I played was Black Flag. I played a little bit of the what's it called? The DLC for it, the standalone Freedom Cry.
Okay.
Freedom Cry, that was it. But I didn't play Rogue and I didn't play Unity. But I thought, this Victorian London's cool setting. I like the trailers, like the story of it looks pretty cool. I've never really been interested in the story of an Assassin's Creed game. I like the gameplay of it, but the story is actually quite cool. Like, a lot of it is based around different gangs in the city and like how they're using child labor for their factories and stuff. And you've got to basically go around and deal justice to these people that are like making children like work in these factories and stuff. And it's a lot of it's the traditional Assassin's Creed gameplay, but it's just it looks really good. There's not that many bugs. There's a few bugs, but it's not game breaking, like Unity was. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far. So.
Miguel, what are you playing?
Well, I'm playing Yoshi Yarn.
Oh, that's good.
And yeah, I like it. It's just I find it like a peaceful playing game. I mean, the level gets more difficult, but I think it's like one of those when you lose, Yoshi dies, so to speak. You're like, oh, that But
I think it's definitely much more difficult than past Yoshi games. Like when you get deeper in, like the first couple of levels, like 1-1, 1-2, 1-3, they're not that hard. But when you start getting deeper, it starts getting more intense, man. But it's such a number one. It's a
beautiful game.
Yes. So beautiful, and it's a fun game. It's a lot of fun.
I love finding the secrets in the levels.
Oh yeah, and there's so many. So many. It's a good game. Very, very well done. Very well done.
I think it's way better than Kirby's Epic Yarn.
I agree.
Oh God, yes.
Yeah, I don't like Kirby.
Yeah, Kirby was just kind of like you couldn't die, unless you fall off something completely. But even then, like it was just like a lot of putzing around type stuff. Like I think it was just kind of like, let's see what we can do here. But for the time being on the Wii, graphics wise, it looked good. It looked great for them. So it's interesting. It's definitely cool to see where they're taking things. Like I hope that Yoshi keeps the Arn look. And Yoshi always had that childish,
Yes.
kitty-like feel to it. In the first ones, it was like a kid drew it all in crayons and all that stuff, and they kind of kept that theme for a while. This seems like it's the perfect fit for Yoshi, so I like it a lot. I think it went well. Myself, I've been playing Triforce Heroes as well, and I played online with Alvaro and Joshua from our Geek Guru group, and we got on Skype and we were playing together. Had a lot of fun. We played 2 hours, blew by, and it was like, wow. Like, we just jumped on and started playing. Next thing you know, it was like, holy crap, man, we've been at this for 2 hours. We need to stop. But we actually went through the first. All of us had completed the first world already, but we had gone through the next 3 worlds as well. So we've completed the first 3 worlds together. So, but it's a lot of fun. It's cool to see. Joshua had been playing a lot more than we had, so he was much further. So it was kind of cool to see, like, he had a lot of the different suits, to see the abilities. It's a lot easier when you have certain suits already unlocked. So he was like blowing through stuff, and me and Alvaro were like, okay, like, go at it. You knock it out, we'll watch. It was kind of cool. Like, he had the Goron suits when you get to lava levels. He's just running through the lava, and it wasn't even touching. Cool. So it was kind of cool. I also started playing Walking Dead Season 1, the Telltale game, and I tinkered with it a couple of years ago on the PS3, but I kind of stopped. I don't know why I stopped, actually. And then I've been meaning to play it again, and I was going to pick it up on the Vita. And then I thought, you know what? I'd rather get it on the PS4, because I would hope that it wouldn't be as glitchy as the PS3 version was. So far, I haven't seen as many glitches with it. It seems like it's a little bit better than the PS3 version. Have both of you guys played that, or no?
Yeah. Yes, I played it, yes.
I played both seasons.
So, on the PS3, a part that glitched out on me was in the very beginning when you're in the drugstore, and you had Carly and Doug, the 2 people, like when the walkers are all getting ready to come into the drugstore, and the 3 of you are defending the door, and you have to pick which one you want to live and which one you want to die.
Yeah.
I was debating between the 2, and the minute it gave me the choice, it glitched, and it made me pick Doug. And I was like, whoa, what the heck happened? And then,
oh man,
and then Doug's like giving me a hard time.
Doug sucks as well.
Give me a hard time because I let her die. And I wanted to keep Carly because I thought, one, she trusted me a little bit with the secret. She was willing to work with me and help me keep my secret that I killed people in the past. And then she's a good shot with a gun. So I was like, I want to keep her, if anything, and I didn't have that option. So this time, I kind of knew that going in, and I was like, I need to focus on her right away and save her. So it's kind of cool. I like the game a lot. And then the last game I got, the reason why I want to bring it up is because of an issue with it, but I bought WWE 2K16. I'm a huge Stone Cold fan, so with him being on the cover and all that, I was like, I'm going to give this a shot. I'm going to try it. And used to play a lot of wrestling games back on the N64. Like, I loved No Mercy on the N64. It was one of my all-time favorite games on the N64. But I bought it. I get it. I put it in. Go to play it. No menu screens. No nothing. It's glitched out.
Oh, no.
The game's broken.
Dude.
And I'm going through the forums, and that's all you're seeing is all these parts of the game that is not working. People are complaining, flipping out. How you sell a $60 game and it does not work is beyond me, and it's ridiculous. Like,
that's awful.
It's horrible. Like, yeah. Now what happened was what I found out later was when you go to start, when the button pops up that says press A to continue or press the X button to continue, you got to sit there. You don't touch anything. You wait about 30 seconds, 40 seconds, then push X, and it loads everything up. It's so stupid that these guys put these games out.
And you know there's no way they didn't know about that bug.
Yeah.
Of course.
How could you not know about a bug like that?
I mean, that's like the first thing that happens when you turn the game on.
Exactly. Like, you're pushing the X button right away to move into what you're doing. How in the world you missed that is beyond me. It just blows my mind. It's stupid. So I'm going to try to tinker with it a little more today or tomorrow if I can. Although Walking Dead's kind of like, it was funny because I bought both games at the same time. And I bought The Walking Dead because it was on sale for PlayStation Plus members for $7.50. So I was like, I'm going to get it on the PS4 now. Now's my chance. So I bought them both at the same time. I was like, you know what? I'll dive deeper into Walking Dead, get further along in that, and then I'll go back to WWE. Hopefully, by the time patches come out and they fix it, it's a joke.
Does Tony watch you play The Walking Dead?
Yes, she loves it. She loves it.
Does she help you? Does she scream decisions at you?
No, not that. I don't think she hasn't been paying attention enough to do that.
I thought she loved Walking Dead though.
She does, but she doesn't like sit there and watch. Like she's playing on the computer, and she's listening, and then she's like looking up occasionally. Like when something interests her, she'll watch. Like yesterday, Glenn. I got to the part where Glenn shows up, and she's like, "Oh, is that Glenn from?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's Glenn." And she's like, "Oh," and then he's like giving me some trash, and then I can't. Did you watch Walking Dead yet?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you watch Walking Dead, Miguel?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Did you watch this past Sunday?
Is this going to be spoilers
You
for
can
anyone?
tell me it's all right because I missed this episode.
I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm not gonna say nothing. No.
Yeah,
I
I think enough of our listeners don't.
Yeah, I don't want to.
I'll watch it today after this. But,
Okay. Yeah.
Let me just say, it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. What happens?
Don't you stop. All right, so we're gonna say.
Just move on.
Okay, so last week we did our questions. We did our contest giveaway, and so we pulled another question off from Mr. Mondo. Mr. Mondo also has a YouTube channel, so go check out that YouTube channel. We encourage you guys to go check it out. He did ask a question on the first giveaway, and I had mentioned that we would answer that question at some point going forward, and so we kind of wanted to talk about that now real quickly. The question was how do you feel about custom amiibo that remove the amiibo and replace it with like a toy figure of some sorts? So an example, I've seen ones where they've cut off the amiibo, whatever it may be, and they put a Waluigi on there, or they put a Daisy on there, or something, so that way people kind of have those type of figures. So that's the question. How do you guys feel about that type of amiibo?
So I feel like if they bought it, it's theirs to do with what they like, right? But as an artistic decision, I think that if you put it with your other amiibo collection, it's always going to stand out like a sore thumb, because like that link that Bobby's got on his shelf, like if that was on an amiibo base and you put that next to the other links, it would just look stupid because the scale is completely out. And the quality is different. There's a way that they've designed the official amiibo, and it's all sort of coherent among the whole collection. And I think that taking other figures from elsewhere and putting them on amiibo bases, it might make the bases match, but the figure's never really going to match. Yeah. But as a standalone thing, it's okay, but then what would be the point if they've already got a base? I mean, the amiibo bases aren't that nice to begin with, so I don't see the point.
Exactly. How about you, Miguel?
I think it's the opposite. I think the opposite. I think it'll be nice to have different figures if someone wants to bring their own and attach it to the base. It might not look cohesive, but there's some people who wish that could be an amiibo, and maybe it's like, I guess for me, it's like trying to send a message to Nintendo, make an amiibo like this, or we would like to see an amiibo like this, and that's their way of their silent protest, so to speak. But I like it anyway. I think it's, like you said before, you buy it, you could do whatever you want with it. If you want to switch it, go ahead. Now, granted, of course, you can't use the base and put it on the Wii U or the 3DS. I mean, that's a given. However, if you do it in a way where it looks nice, and all for the collection, then it'll be fine. You could put it on the shelf. But, I guess the way it looks and the size and things like that, I can see where you're coming from, Toby, when you say it's not cohesive. But then again, it'll be nice to see someone having a collection of different amiibos other than the ones available.
For me personally, I feel like this. Two things. If it's for you personally, do whatever you want to do. Knock yourself out. Have fun with it. If you're selling them, then I have an issue with it.
I have an issue with that too.
Yeah, I feel like if you're taking it, you're altering it. I don't care if you put a different backboard on it that matches the series or whatever. I just feel like you're not doing anything special. Now, that said, I've seen ones where girls are custom amiibo, and I believe they're using a 3D printer. Those look phenomenal, and I'm all for that. I'm fine with that. So it's a catch-22. It's all different based upon. But I feel like if you're trying to take that toy that you bought for $4.99, rip it off, put it on its base, and then sell it for more, and you're really not doing much work to it, people aren't getting the functionality out of that amiibo. You can't take that amiibo and make it something. Like, I can't take that Waluigi and have Waluigi show up in my game. So, in those respects, I think it's a little shady, I think. But I think it all depends on how you word it. If you're just telling people, if you're coming out up front and you're doing it and you're being honest with it, it all depends on how it looks. Because I've seen some custom amiibos that look like garbage. Doesn't even matter, like if it's repaint jobs or whatever. The ones that TOBY does, I own 2 of them. I love them. I think they look amazing. But that's someone that takes the time, goes into it, fine detail with the painting and all that stuff. Like, there is differences in the amiibo. I have one right there that is a Pikachu that was done by Evolos. Looks great. It's an airbrush paint job. All right, so this week we've had the big convention, big show, Paris Games Week in obviously Paris, France. So a lot of the big developers went out there and they showed off all their new stuff. We wanted to kind of discuss like what stood out to us, what was our favorite thing that grabbed our attention. So Miguel, what was something that grabbed your attention during this show?
The PlayStation VR, when they introduced the game Until Dawn, the Rush of Blood. I like the whole idea that you're inside a scary scene and you're trying to find out what to do to stay alive. The only thing that I'm afraid of is it becoming a little gimmicky. That's the only thing I'm afraid of. It just reminds me of the Xbox when they have like this haunted game and it's a motion. It's a fun game, but it's like a motion and it's all gimmicky. Yeah. I just hope that they could find a way not to make it feel like fake, and it's like, even though you have the glasses and you feel that you're there, your movements, that's the only thing I'm afraid of.
Yeah.
Or leery about.
I feel like that game is just going to be like a ride at a theme park.
Yeah.
Like a roller, because you're on rails and it looks kind of silly. Like Until Dawn is a serious sort of scary game with good atmosphere. And I feel like they're kind of ruining that with this Rush of Blood thing because it just looks silly. Like, I can understand being able to look around on rails is probably a lot easier to make than being able to walk around and look around. But like, I think it's like totally different experience to what Until Dawn actually is. And in the trailer, they reuse one of the ghosts from Until Dawn, and it just pops up like in your face. And it just seems like such a gimmick, like Miguel was saying. So.
Yeah. What about you, TOBY? What stood out to you this week?
I really like the idea of Detroit, which is Quantic Dream's new game. Mm-hmm. They made Heavy Rain, which I was a big fan of. Loved that game. Yeah. And I haven't played Beyond. Is it Two Souls? I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
But I didn't play that, so. But this next one, like, I feel like it could be good. The plot seems very similar to the TV show Humans, which was on recently. I think it was this year. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. Graphically, it looks amazing, and I just like the idea of it. I mean, we haven't seen any gameplay yet, but Quantic Dream are a good developer, so.
Yeah, definitely. The one that stood out to me, well, there was two games that I saw that I was just like. They piqued my interest, but not in a great. I mean, I liked them. I saw them and I liked them. One was Matterfall by House Marquee, but that was just a trailer and it didn't have any gameplay footage. But it looked amazing. But it was just a trailer, so I'm waiting to see what the gameplay does. The first time ever that No Man's Sky actually piqued my interest was during this trailer. the gameplay footage and stuff. So that's the first time that I actually looked at it and go, you know what? I might check this out. But I don't know yet. I'm still on the fence with it. But the game that actually made me go like, holy cow, like this looks pretty awesome was Horizon.
Horizon, yes.
During E3, I didn't get hyped about it. Like everybody was like, oh, this is the game of the show, this is the game of the show. And I was just like, it didn't really do anything for me. Like I was just like, okay. But when I watched it during this conference that Sony did, and I watched like them explaining things, it just like I was like, okay, I'm in on that. Looks really cool. Like the art style looks awesome. I always did think the art style was kind of cool, but now that it's like it's got some stealth-based mechanics to it, it's got some RPG style mechanics to it, and they're telling you like it's got missions, like you got to go out and find things and all that stuff. Like I'm starting to really look at it and go, okay, I'm going to definitely give this a shot when it comes out. So that's the 3. But the 1 is Horizon. The other 2 were kind of just more or less like I looked down and go, okay, I got to check these out further. So
what I really liked about Horizon was when she shot part of like an arm cannon off of the big T-Rex type monster, and then she was able to pick that weapon up and use it against the creature.
Yeah, that was cool.
I was like, dynamic things like that are really cool. Yeah. And the way she set the tripwires as well, that was really cool.
It's just really detailed, man.
Yeah.
It's just really cool. It looks like it's going to be an awesome game. So that's all we have for Paris Games Week. We're going to move along, and Nintendo. So Nintendo had their investors meeting, and 2 things that came out of the investors meeting that we wanted to talk about was their first foray into mobile gaming. It's been the buzz of all Nintendo fans and all of gaming since Nintendo finally said like we're going to dip our toe into the mobile waters and see what happens with it. So the game that they announced was Miitomo. Yeah, Miitomo.
Miitomo.
Let me try this again. The game that they announced is Miitomo. It's basically like what I took from it was like it was a social type game with a Mii. It reminds me a lot of Tomodachi Life, and in the aspects of, but it reminds me of Tomodachi Life, but with a social aspect to it, meaning people can interact with you. Like in Tomodachi Life, you weren't able to go online and play with people like you are with like Animal Crossing and stuff like that. Like you had an island, you worked on, you did things on that island, kind of similar to, in some respects, to an Animal Crossing, but you couldn't go visit people's towns and see what they did or anything like that. This feels like you can go to people and check out their Miis and then do other things like ask them questions and things like that. Like it's just, I don't know.
Isn't it more like the app will sort of ask you to fill in details and it will ask you questions about yourself.
Yes.
And then when you're not using it and you're out and about, it will do kind of like a street pass thing with other people, and then the Miis will swap information and details. So you meet people, you find out more about them.
Yes.
Don't know if you can befriend them automatically or not, or whatever. But like, if it is similar to Street Pass on your phone, then I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I think it's just more like a mobile avatar.
Yeah.
I just hope that Nintendo gets it right when they do it, because it's like, I don't know. It sounds cutesy right now, just for me, something that's already been done with other things. Yeah. I just hope that Nintendo takes it to the next level. I like the idea of mobile, go Nintendo for that, but I still feel like Nintendo needs to, unless they have like a surprise or something.
I think they will. I think right now it's just a matter of they need to figure it out and figure out exactly what they're doing. I think this game will work. You got to think of it like this. I really feel like, for myself personally, I don't play mobile games. It's very rare that I get into mobile games. I wind up quitting them after a week. So a game like this is for the people that are very casual, that pick up games and have fun dressing up their characters and stuff like that, and doing things like that. Like, I really think that in the mobile world, this will probably do well. As far as like us, I don't feel like any game that they introduce on the mobile platforms that we're gonna like.
Yeah.
So this really isn't for us per se. This is for our parents or our nephews and nieces that just play around and play games and stuff like that, like on their phones and stuff. Like, how much time do you really put on a game on your phone? Like, in all honesty, like I can honestly tell you that for myself, I maybe put 10 hours a year into mobile gaming, like on my phone.
It's true.
Everything else is console based for me.
I think if they do something like communal wise, like if there's a group of mobile me players that walk around and they walk around with their me and kind of like the Wii Fit, only mobile, and then they could transfer their steps. Like if they do things like that. Now I'm talking more like for the adult players, where they're walking or running and exercising, and it keeps the heart rate. And then there's like other players that could keep each other in check, so to speak, like they support one another and they exercise it to reach a goal. Then that'll be a nice aspect to see included in this mobile.
I think honestly what mobile does is it opens Nintendo up to a lot of things that they talked about doing in the past that they really can't do with a Wii U or a 3DS.
With a console, yes.
The quality of life, like. You can act because my iPhone has a pedometer built into it. It has all these different health aspects built into it. This is what Nintendo can basically start to move into, these different things. Like, make exercising fun. Make walking fun. Like, that's what Nintendo is good at. Like, the Wii Fit, like, I'm not the type of person that likes to exercise. Well, come on. I don't exercise hardly at all. But I'm not the type of person that's into exercising. I've never been into exercise. But I'll be honest with you. I put some time in the Wii Fit because it was fun. It was... And I think that's what Nintendo is perfect at doing, is making things you find tedious fun. So I really think that this opens him up to a lot of things in the future. Just...
what might be cool if, like, because we're talking about fitness apps now that don't exist, but if they had like an app where you had a me character that was connected to fitness in some way, and like if you could like level up, like if it had RPG aspects to your character, and you could like level up your character's stats by exercising yourself.
That'd be cool.
And then if you could transfer that character into a game, and then your character be more powerful in the game because you spent 20 minutes working out, that would be brilliant.
That'd be cool. That would be cool.
I would say Pokemon Go would be perfect for that because you see like little snippets of it. I like the whole, like, for me, I like to play Pokemon, but then there's been a lull. But now that I know that I could actually go to the real world and see if I could catch a Pokemon, walking around, things like that, I think that's a movement. And I'm looking forward to see where they're gonna take that, the next level. So
the other thing that came out of the investors meetings was the new replacement to Club Nintendo. Now, I am personally, I'll be honest with you, I'm excited for it, because here are some things that I've did a little research this morning before we started, and I kind of pulled off was. They're going to do away with friend codes. So no more friend codes, which is awesome. I'm happy about that. They're going to do more social media integration, meaning your ID, you can log into certain things with your Facebook page and all that, on your Twitter account and all that stuff, so you can link all these things kind of together. Basically what they're doing is they're catching up to what Sony and Microsoft have been doing for years. They're going to make it where you can start to download games via PC and mobile and things like that. But what the advantage is and what's so nice about it is they're opening it up to all of the eShop, not just a couple of titles. And they're also allowing you to throw it right into your queue and download. So if you're a type of person that leaves your system on all times, you could basically buy it and go and download it immediately, that's like I said, that's what the PlayStation app does. That's what I love about the PlayStation app. So hopefully they do that and they turn it into an app. But as far as the actual MyNintendo program, which is exciting, is more or less it's a lot of what it was. It's just all more fine-tuned now into you will earn points by buying and playing games. And those points you can redeem on like merchandise, which we used to do, games, which we used to do, DLC content, but they also will give you discounts on things as well. So I think what I like about this is not only when you buy the games, which sounds a lot like the Digital Deluxe program as well as the Club Nintendo program. I like the fact that you can actually, like, it keeps track of when you're playing games now. And I guess when you log in your account, you put time into a game and you're earning points, which is awesome. Because a game like Mario Kart, I'd be killing because I had like 160 hours. So.
I wonder if you could cheat that. Like, if you have a game like an RPG, and you tape your control stick to the left so your character's running around in circles, and you leave your controller on all day, do you think it will like rack up points?
You know something? Let me stop you right here, because you get so upset when people try to cheat the system in games. You were just giving me a hard time today.
I'm not suggesting people do this.
And then look at then you're coming up with these.
I'm just saying, like, people do that sort of thing.
I'm sure. Listen, yeah. I'm sure they will, and I'm sure Nintendo will figure it out, and they'll shut it down real quick.
When there's a will, there's a way. Someone will always do it.
Yeah.
I like the idea. Xbox does something like that with their rewards program, when you play games, and then they give you, like, when you earn enough points, they give you money so you could buy some games online. I like the whole idea of where Nintendo's going with this. I just hope that when there's rewards, it's not something just tchotchke. It's something like game related. Well, it's relevant. I don't want to buy like a Mario handkerchief if I spend all these times playing a game. You understand what I'm talking about?
Well,
things like that.
I think it depends on this, and this is what I was going to lead into. They haven't announced if we're going to have to pay for this service or if it's free. Now, if I have to pay $50 a year, I'm fine with that. I'm more than fine with that. I do it already for PlayStation. I don't have a problem doing it for Nintendo. But if I'm paying the $50, then I want good stuff.
I hear that.
If I'm not paying for it, then what do I care? You know what I mean? If it's, and that's the way, like, people used to get so upset about the Club Nintendo stuff that they would give away. In the UK, in Europe, they got some really great stuff.
Yes, they did.
We got garbage, so but my thing was I'm not paying for it, so what do I care? Like, they're giving me stuff for free. And occasionally you would get these really cool items, but and it was the same thing when they would do, like, the statuses at the end of the year, like the Elite and the Gold and all that, and people would get upset that, like, they would give away games, the digital games. And I looked at it as, I didn't pay for this program. I didn't do anything for this program, so why am I getting upset when Nintendo's giving me free stuff? More or less what I always used to do was I used to take the digital game, and I would buy a digital game that I already had physically. And then I would take the physical, go trade it in, because Nintendo doesn't lose value on their games.
Yep.
Trade it in, get top dollar for it, buy a gift card to the eShop, and then I go buy whatever game I wanted. And that's the way I always beat around the system to get what I wanted out of it. But I think that's the thing. I don't have a problem. Again, I don't have a problem if I'm paying for it. But if I am paying for it, I want better quality items than they've been given. So, what do you guys think? Do you think they're going to charge for it, or do you think it's going to be free?
I think they're going to charge for it, right? But because Nintendo were talking about they want to achieve Wii/DS profits within the next 3 years. And I think, like, this whole, like, MyNintendo Club thing, mixed with they want to push their IP more on consoles and in other areas, their mobile strategy, I think that they could do that. And I'd be happy to pay for the MyNintendo thing if it meant I could get rewards, whether that's digital games or physical related things, or even if it's just, like, appearance related stuff within games, like DLC, costumes and stuff like that. But like because they were talking about you can earn points by going to the cinema or in other ways, like, so I wonder if they're going to start using their IP for films or
they've already talked about it. They've already talked about it.
So, like, films and theme parks, and, like, because they seem to be, like, really, like you say, modernizing, coming into the real world, and, like, don't know, like, they're just catching up. They're really, like, expanding into a lot of different areas, and especially with microtransactions on mobile, like, I think they're going to do.
Well, think about it. How cool would it be and here's a hypothetical. How cool would it be? I go to Disney every year, right? So I've already said that when Universal brings in the Nintendo rides, I'm going over there to check them out.
Mm.
How cool would it be? I have my phone, and my phone has GPS tracking.
Yeah.
And if I got into a geofence that's a Nintendo property, that I start earning points as I'm there.
Exactly.
You know?
How cool is
That
that?
would be awesome, man. That
Yeah.
stuff like that would be so cool.
Yeah.
That, by the way, Sony and Microsoft aren't doing. That's the thing
true.
that I'm not knocking them at all. You know what I mean? I'm not going to knock. I love Sony. Microsoft, I like Phil Spencer, but the rest can go.
Stop.
But that's the thing I always loved about Nintendo is they have the ability to take what people are already doing and take it to the next level. And that's where, like, everybody's been complaining that, like, why haven't you caught up? Why haven't you caught up? And here they are. They're like, okay, we're taking all the best aspects of what you guys are into with this stuff. I don't know, by the way, we're going to take it to the next level. Because not only are we going to give you points for playing video games, you go watch one of our movies, you're going to get points. You go to our theme parks, you're going to get points. Like, that stuff is exciting to me. Because that's like, now it gives you a reason to, just go try other things that Nintendo's doing.
Yeah, because they're creating, like, a larger brand for themselves. And, like, they get you sort of mentally, like, interested in their films, their mobile apps, their video games.
Yeah.
Like it's pulling you in from all these different directions, and like I don't know, it seems like a really good idea to me.
Yeah, I agree. It's like a niche. It's a niche that Nintendo can hold on to. You have a mobile device anyway.
Yeah.
And if you go anywhere and you just happen to go to a place where you're going to get points, it's more of an incentive to go.
Yeah.
Again, there goes that carrot on the stick. But I hope that the carrot that's on the stick is good enough for you to, like, let me do this. And I like the whole theme park things. I just hope that when you go to the theme park, it's not like you're there. If you buy one of our items at the theme park, you gain X amount of points.
Yeah.
I like the whole wall thing where you walk in and it counts. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I should say, Nintendo, it's about time. I'm looking forward to it, and I want to see what's to come in the future.
Well, and for me, someone that goes to Nintendo World Store, occasionally, and Miguel, you've been there numerous times as well.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea to think that, like, hey, if you go to the Nintendo World Store during a special event, you could earn points. Like, now, don't get me wrong. They've never said this, and this is just us. This is just us taking what we've read and elaborating on it. But if that was the case, if they said, like, so hey, you go to the Nintendo World Store, because you know how they do events there. So they'll do it like they just did an event yesterday with an Animal Crossing card trading event.
Yes.
So if they say, like, hey, if you participate in this event, you're going to get this. I've stood in line for 4 hours for a gold Mario amiibo. Wouldn't it be kind of cool to be like, hey, you sat in line for all this time, so here's some points? Like, that would be, to me, awesome. Now, I'm not saying they're going to do that by any stretch of the imagination, but it would be kind of cool if they did do it. I'd be like, that would be awesome.
I am worried that they will do something weird like they normally do, though, just to mess it up. Because everything that Nintendo does that you would think is a brilliant idea usually comes with some weird caveat that's like, this is a great idea, but it's brought down by this weird barrier to entry.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's possible, but that's whatever. It is what it is. That you got to take the good with the bad. If it's you got to figure out how much good there is and how much bad there is. If it outweighs, then it's worth it.
Well, one thing I have to say about that is I hope that this time around that Nintendo really listens to its consumers. They have been for a while, and I've been noticing the change that people are suggesting, and they're doing it. But I really hope that they really take consumers into consideration and not think, well, we do it like this here, so everybody's going to accept it the way we do it here all over the world. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from. And what I'm kind of curious about is this. All these changes that have taken place over the past 48 hours, give or take, I wonder, are these plans that were set in place much prior to Iwata's death? or was this stuff that was kind of talked about, and then when he died, they looked at it and go, okay, this is stuff that he kind of fought against, so we're going to
Well,
start pushing further? Like, I'm kind of curious about that, because they've kind of been quiet for the last 6 months since his death and haven't really talked or done anything. Now, I know the DNA stuff was all in works, which led into all this stuff, but I kind of wonder how much he had his hand in all this stuff in doing.
I think it was already underway, because decisions like this don't happen very quickly in a company as large as Nintendo. I think because when Kimishima took over, he was like, we're sticking with Iwata's plans that he's set in motion already.
Okay.
I think that this is part of that.
That's good then. Okay, so at this point, we're going to move into our game, Get Your Facts Straight. This is basically, for those that don't know, all members bring 2 facts to the table. They read their facts, and then the other 2 members, the other 2 people that haven't read the fact, obviously, will have to determine whether that's a true or a false statement. We keep track of the scores, and then we go from there. So, Miguel, we'll go with you first. What is your first fact?
Okay. John Kirby, the lawyer who won the Donkey Kong case in 1984, is the only person who has the right to name his sailboat the Donkey Kong.
Wow.
I'll say it again.
No. We understand what you're saying. It's just a matter of...
Okay, all right. Yeah, because we know, like, last time when I asked a question about John Kirby, they named Kirby after him, yes. So, now, because of that, the lawyer himself, he's the only person who has the right to name his sailboat Donkey Kong.
I think that's false.
Yeah, I think that's false, too.
It's actually true.
Ah, man.
Hey, how can you stop someone from naming
Exactly.
Donkey Kong?
Well, Nintendo has rights. You can't use their name, things like that. But I think there's rights to it because Nintendo is a trade. Donkey Kong is a trademark.
Actually, you know what? I should have known that, because didn't they say, like, they've trademarked the term "it's on like Donkey Kong"?
Yes.
So they're very protective over Donkey Kong.
Possible.
Like
Yes.
Yeah.
Stupid stuff. All right, Toby. What's your first fact, Toby?
All right. So both of my facts are Resident Evil related, since it is Halloween, and I'm looking forward to playing my games later. So the first fact is, in Resident Evil 2, you can unlock a sort of an extra scenario where you can play as a piece of tofu as a character, like a human-sized slice of tofu.
I'm gonna say it's true.
Yeah, I'm gonna say true as well.
Yeah, because I remember that there was like a tofu. I don't know if there was an extra game, but I know you could play it in game as a tofu.
It is true.
Yes, I remember that.
Because when they were testing the hitbox for the characters in the game, they put in a slice of tofu as like a joke, but they liked it so much that they thought they'd keep it as an unlockable mini scenario.
I remember that.
Okay, so my first fact is F-Zero.
Okay.
The first F-Zero was made in 15 months. It was one of the quickest turnarounds of a game ever.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
I don't say that again. Repeat that again.
F-Zero was
the first one you're talking about.
Yes, the first one. It was made start to stop in 15 months.
I'm going to say it's false.
And you said it's true, Toby?
Yep, it's true.
Toby is right.
Yes!
They basically wanted it to be one of the launch titles for the SNES.
Okay.
And they wanted to show off the Mode 7 effects. So when they started the game, the launch title, the SNES was going to launch in 15 months. So they said, you got to have this done by this date, and they somehow got it done.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Miguel, what's your next fact?
Okay. In the Japanese version of The Legend of Zelda, the Famicom version, it allowed players to make a loud noise to destroy the enemy, the Pole's voice. You know, the little rabbit-looking thing?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's called the Pole's voice. In the Japanese version, you were allowed to yell into the controller, and it will respond by destroying the Pole's voice in the original Zelda game.
I'm gonna say true.
How about you, Toby?
It's 100% true. I know that's true.
It is true.
That's why Toby waited for me to go first. He knew it, and he was like,
Yeah, Toby always does that.
Tactics.
Yeah. That's how you know Toby knows the answer, when he just sits back quietly.
No, not
He doesn't
always.
say anything at all. He just sits back and waits. So, Toby, what's your next fact?
My fact is Resident Evil 6 has a combined Metacritic score of 43.
I have to say this real quick. I agree that Resident Evil 6 was not the best game, but I think 46 is a little too low for me. I would say somewhere around the 60s. I did say true. It's true that the game was low, but I don't know, the number 45. What was it again? 46, 45? 43. I don't know.
Listen,
I'm gonna
while you're trying to figure it out, I'm going to say I think it's true. So, okay, what do you think, Miguel?
I don't know.
He's having a meltdown.
No, I am, because I know the game was low. Damn it, I said true, but I'm going to change it, okay? It's okay? I'm going to change it to false, because I think the number was too low.
It is indeed false.
Yes!
Xbox 360 was like 63, and it was 70 something on PS3. I just know that game's got
I knew it was low, but it was 40 something is too low. Yeah, that's what threw me off. See, you tricked us there.
When I went away and came back, I had to remember the number that I said because I didn't write it down.
That's why I asked you a few times.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, I better remember.
Okay, so right now we are all tied at 2, which means I cannot win. It just comes down to between Toby and Miguel.
Once again.
So, okay, so my next question, or my next fact, is Earthbound in Japan.
Oh, God.
Because it was originally made in Japan. It is called Mother in Japan.
Yes.
Which was named after the John Lennon song Mother.
Oh, fudge. Oh, no. How about, you're going to go first, Toby.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I'm going to pull a Toby. I'm pulling a Toby.
Oh, my God. I feel like Bobby's always throwing these Beatles into the facts. Like, I'm sure there's been other facts where he's mentioned, like, or some sort of musician or something like that. Part of me, like, thinks it could be true, but I'm gonna say false.
I say this. Nintendo's well known for their music. And they have, listen, look at me.
He's gonna try to connect the dots real quick. Like, look at his mind working.
Steam is coming out of my ear. So, I would say Nintendo, always had with the music, and they always had the fun with the American Western type of things, like America's culture. The Beatles is more of a European. Well, it's part of Americana.
True or false? You're running out of time here. Do you
I'm
think
gonna
it's true
say
or false?
False.
It is true.
Oh, so lucky! Thank God.
So it was that plus more, but I didn't go into the more of it.
See, that's what threw me up, because I know they do a lot more influences.
But he chose the name Itoy, the creator of the game. He chose the name Mother for 2 reasons. One, like a homage because he loved the song Mother by John Lennon. But the other reason was because his own father was absent from his life, most of his life. And if you play Earthbound, Mother or Mother 2, when Ness talks to his father, it's always on the telephone. His dad's never there.
Yep.
So that's kind of where it all came about. But I figured if I told you all that other stuff, you guys would know it was true. So I didn't get in. That's why I kind of cut it off where it was.
Have you got any more facts?
I don't have any more.
I do. Can I throw one?
All right. Well, wait, because we're tied right now. Let's all do one more.
Okay.
All right.
And we'll go from there.
Okay.
But it needs to be quick. No more 5 hours to determine whether it's true.
Okay, I won't. All right.
So, okay, what's your first fact, Miguel?
Okay. Satoshi Tajira, he's one of the creators of Pokemon around 1989, 1990. His idea stemmed from his insect collecting as a child. Satoshi Tajira, when he was thinking about the game Pokemon, his idea stemmed from his insect collection.
I'm going to say true.
True.
You sure, Toby?
True, I'm sure. It's true.
It's true. It's true.
Was it specifically butterfly collecting or just all different insects?
It's just insect collection because I know he had a thing for the butterfly collection, but he did have an insect collection.
Okay, Toby, what's your next fact?
All right. So the game series Devil May Cry started off as a prototype for Resident Evil 4.
I'm going to say it's true.
All right. You're right. It's true.
We both said at the same time.
All right, so right now the score is I'm at 4, Toby's at 3, Miguel's at 3. This is my last fact. If we all tie, it's all tied. If we all, whatever, we're not going to keep going with this. So with the Nintendo 64, there was a controller that came out, the Atomic Grape controller. There is stories, facts, rumors that color and that style, because it wasn't just like atomic purple, it had a name to it, Atomic Grape. They say that the reason behind the naming of that was because President Yamauchi, his favorite fruit was grapes, and that was kind of something that they wanted to do to whatever.
Hang on, what do you mean? A controller, was it a third-party controller?
No, it was
the Nintendo. It did come out in purple. Yes, I remember that.
I don't remember that.
I'm gonna say it
was clear. It was like a see-through purple controller.
Yes.
It was called Atomic Grape controller.
So
they copied the idea from the Max when the Max had all those different colors.
Yeah, when they had all the clear colors and stuff when the Macintosh.
I'm gonna say it's false.
Okay.
All right. Well, to save us from all, because I don't want us to draw, I want somebody to lose, so I'm gonna say it's true.
It's false. It was called Atomic Purple. That was right.
I thought it was false.
But Miguel didn't win. Me and Miguel tied.
Yeah,
so
well, you both kind of
lost. So whatever. It is what it is. All right. So that is all. Thank you guys for listening to us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Stitcher, if that's how you listen to us. If you watched us on this video portion on YouTube, we appreciate that as well. We would appreciate you guys to rate us, to leave a comment below, like, what did you guys think about this week's show? Is there anything you believe or you agree with? What are you guys feeling about these new Nintendo things that are coming out, the MyNintendo Club, the group that they're coming out with, the rewards program? What do you guys feel about that? What was your favorite thing about Paris Games Week? Let us know. We're interested in hearing that as well.
Yes, and if you want a question read out on the next podcast, just leave it in the comments below.
Yes, yeah, you can do that.
A couple for next week.
So that is all. You can follow me, Instagram, Twitter, at The Geek Gurus. Toby is at Toby's_take. Miguel, what is
Super Night Arm at Twitter.
Super Night Arm.
How many tweets have you done?
Me?
Yeah.
Are you even doing tweets?
No, I haven't.
Well, start doing tweets.
I've been so busy.
Why should people
I will start.
Okay. It took me forever just to get on Twitter. And now he's on. Now we have to get him to actually start doing tweets and stuff. So that is all. Thank you guys again. Peace, mother.
Au revoir.